Hey everybody, my name is Alex Bevel Jones. I'm running for City Council District 2. In short, my family has lived in Atlanta for 150 years, and I could not be more proud of that fact, and I could not be more proud of the fact that I call District 2 home. It is not only the place where I met my wife and I started my family, but it is where I poured my heart, my energy, and my soul, and my purpose into. I very much think that it's time for action in this city, and I'm here to deliver on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Kelsey, we're going to go down the line too. Kelsey.
Hello everyone, my name is Kelsey Bond. I'm an Atlanta native. I'm a community organizer, former union member, and former education policy worker. I'm running because I love Atlanta, but Atlanta has become unaffordable for regular working people. Rent is through the roof. The cost of buying a home remains out of reach for many young people like me. We are decades behind where we need to be on public transit, and we have the highest wealth gap in the nation. The time is now to build a city that works for everybody, no matter their income bracket.
Jacob?
Thank you so much, and thank you to the committee for having us today. My name is Jacob Chambers, running for City Council District 2. I'm a Georgia Tech grad and an engineer, so I bring a very data-driven, solution-oriented approach to my campaign, which is built on three big issues: making it easier to buy or rent a home in our city, fixing our broken transportation system, and ensuring that every Atlantan has access to a thriving, livable, walkable neighborhood. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ocean?
Good morning, and I want to thank everybody for being here, creating this space, the other candidates as well for stepping up to participate in our democracy. It's so critical. My name's Ocean Zatik, and I was born on the Boulevard in Georgia Baptist Hospital. So I feel that this city is my birthright. It is our birthright collectively, and I'm here to see that we continue to thrive and to prudently manage all of our city's resources to create a more responsible, more equitable, and a more just city for all of us.
Thank you. Courtney?
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm running for District 2 because we're at a pivotal point in our history. We not only have the challenges of projects undelivered, but we also have the transformative potential of our growth. We need someone sitting in the seat with the knowledge and the experience to navigate complex conversations to deliver those items. I am that candidate. I'm ready on day one. Not only from my track record of 10 years of civic leadership and community advocacy, but also as a child. I grew up in a family, hardworking families of civic servants and community volunteers. They taught me to be part of something bigger than myself, and I am prepared. I am also long-winded, so 30 seconds is very hard. Everyone that knows me in this room knows this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next question is for Kelsey and Courtney. Recent policies have prioritized the development of publicly owned land, including 2 Peachtree, 143 Alabama, the Midtown Fire Station, and many others. What more should be done to ensure the completion of these critical development projects? Kelsey, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I mean, if anybody has been reading the news recently, you may have noticed we have a major issue delivering on infrastructure projects and housing developments that we promised to Atlanta voters. I think we need to make sure that city departments that handle these projects are fully staffed and that we're adequately funding things like the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which has not really been used for the things that it was originally meant for. So we need to be allocating affordable housing funds towards affordable housing and building new housing that's affordable for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Courtney?
First, I would like to say that I commend the mayor and his focus on affordable housing. He created a team of people that came up with creative solutions for something like Engine 15 in Midtown. I have direct experience working with that team and currently working with them now to ensure things about that project are continued into perpetuity, that we come up with creative ways to make sure that our affordable housing stays affordable forever. And I appreciate being part of that stakeholder team. I'd like to see more of those projects. The density bonus that was recently passed for SPI 16 and MRC 3 I also supported.
Thank you very much. Next question is for Alex and Jacob. The necessary resources and support services are needed in each district to serve our unsheltered populations. What do you think is the biggest need in your district, and what would you do to bridge that gap? Start with Alex.
I mean, I think the biggest thing right now is long-term residents don't need to be displaced. They need to be accepted and provided a home. I think the biggest thing facing this population right now is mental health. And I think it's something that we as a city need to do a much better job of giving these people the attention and the service that they need. And I ultimately think that this is a problem that Atlanta's not unique to. I think we're all looking at our neighbors as to what is the answer going to be, and we're not doing enough to proactively find that. And I think Atlanta has the opportunity to really be the standard bearer here when it comes to this issue. And I think it's just time that we stand up and actually take action with this.
The thing that our district needs, and not just District 2, but every district in our city, is housing. Homelessness is fundamentally a housing problem, and the data is very clear that the single greatest determiner of how bad a homelessness problem is in the city is its availability of affordable housing. So as a council member, I would prioritize making sure that people in all levels of income have access to housing. That means transitional projects like the Melody by Garnet Marta Station in places where that makes sense, and also making sure that housing is more generally affordable to keep people out of homelessness in the first place.
Thank you. If you don't live near the Beltline East Side Trail, visiting the path often requires sitting in bumper-to-bumper traffic. How can the city make the Beltline more accessible and improve overall transportation in the area? 30 seconds each. We'll start with Courtney this time.
Okay. We have a transit problem in our city. And it's a problem not because of the way our city has operated in the past, but because of the growth we see in the future. We need to be prepared for that. So we need to continue with creative solutions to curbside management. We need to look at a transit network. Just simply expanding MARTA is not going to be a solution for Atlanta because of infrastructure constraints. We need to harness the potential of the Beltline in some form, and I look forward to studying that as a council member and figuring out that right path forward.
Motion.
Well, as a first generation Cuban American, my family actually lived in Argonne Avenue for a number of years, and it was a very different neighborhood. It was a very different time. Traffic was very different. I think we definitely need to leverage technology as much as possible in these situations as we continue to work with MARTA and other transit solutions. I think we need to leverage rider data, we need to leverage traffic data, and we just have to do whatever we have to do to make things more accessible for everyone, and also think about cost as well.
So access to the Beltline from all parts of our city boils down to two big issues. The first is delivering the project that Atlantans have voted on, we've paid for, and that is Beltline Rail. And that is something that our city needs to start productively delivering on with tracks in the ground as soon as possible. The second, we need a network of connected, protected bike and scooter lanes to make sure that people who live in neighborhoods like Midtown have access to the Beltline through projects like the 10th Street Cycle Track, which has been transformative for our neighborhood, but throughout the city, and not just in places like Midtown.
Thank you. Kelsey?
In 2016, voters in Atlanta voted by overwhelming margins to support the More MARTA project. This included bus rapid transit with dedicated lanes. This included Beltline Rail. I think we need to follow through on the promises we make. We need to restore faith in democracy by carrying out democratic decisions that are made by City of Atlanta voters. We also, you may notice that the Beltline itself is very crowded. There's a lot of traffic with scooters and bikes, and I think, like Jacob said, I think this means we need more dedicated bike lanes and a network throughout the city so that we're not crowding everybody on the Beltline, because that really indicates a shortage of alternative ways to get around the city that feels safe for pedestrians.
First off, I think the Beltline is the shot in the arm the city didn't know that it needed, and it literally has invigorated the city in ways that we didn't know were possible. I firmly agree with some of these statements that have been said. I think connectivity is the word that we need to focus on. When the Beltline was designed, it had light rail in mind and it had connectivity with all of MARTA's stations. That has to happen, guys. I mean, this is simply put, since MARTA became an idea 50 years ago, it has been kicked down the road time and time again on how we can improve this system and make it more effective for all Atlantans. And I think it's time that an administration and a council finally makes the hard decisions and makes this thing happen.
Thank you. This next question is for Ocean and Jacob. Atlanta's aging infrastructure, including its water and sewer systems, viaducts, and bridges, requires significant investment. with more needed than the identified resources. What do you see as the council's role in prioritizing needs and securing the resources needed to be successful in executing? Let's begin with Jacob.
Yeah, our water and sewer system is in desperate need of repair, and every time that a new sinkhole opens up, I think we all see that and feel that very viscerally. We should not be a city where major swaths of our population are going without clean water for a week at a time. With infrastructure over 100 years old, there are going to be some really tough decisions and tough trade-offs that come with that. One thing that we need to do is to look towards really diverse funding sources, including reaching out to the state to see if we can get additional sales tax options passed in order to actually invest in these aging infrastructure systems for the next century and not rely on pipes from the 1880s.
So one of the things that I do outside of this is that I'm an HOA board president of a community that's about 45 years old. And I know very keenly how it feels to have infrastructure that is aging in place, as they call it, or other terms, and it is a big challenge. I think that deferred maintenance is always going to be an issue. I think that seeking funding is going to be important. I don't know if taxing people is necessarily the best way for our families, but we definitely have to prioritize our infrastructure that goes with anything. It goes with a car, a house, a neighborhood, a city. It goes for everything.
Thank you. Atlanta now possesses a state-of-the-art training center for police officers and firefighters, yet staffing levels remain below target. What policies would you propose to help meet recruitment and retention goals? And I'm sorry, this is for Kelsey and Alex. Kelsey, please start. Sorry.
Yeah, so, I've been a long opponent of the Public Safety Training Center. I think that there was a real lack of respect for democracy that was demonstrated when voters were not allowed to hold a referendum vote on the issue. I think when we make infrastructural choices like this, we need community buy-in, we need the public's participation. I also think this was an exorbitant use of funds that could have been used on major infrastructure projects that have been backlogged for years. At the same time, when it comes to public safety, we need to invest in other comprehensive forms of public safety, such as expanding PAD to operate 24/7 all around the city, because let's face it, police officers are not equipped to handle cases dealing with mental health or homelessness, and we need trained professionals who are trained in de-escalation, who are trained in tackling mental health crises, so we can keep everyone safe in the city.
I'm a firm believer that our first responders and our police officers especially need all the resources they can to do their job as effectively and safely as they can. So I staunchly support the training facility. I think that this was an excellent move for not only the city, but it's also a way for Atlanta to show the rest of the country that this is how we can get things done. And ultimately, again, I think that when you're talking about first responders and policemen, they need to have all the training and resources they can to do their job the best that they can. So I am fully in support of this, and I will support this in perpetuity because I think this is the strongest move for our city.
Thank you. This question is for Courtney and Ocean. Community Improvement Districts, or CIDs, play a vital role in advancing local initiatives and speeding up capital projects in our cities. If elected, how do you plan to collaborate with the CIDs in your district to support and implement effective solutions? Courtney, we'll start with you.
I will continue to do what I've already been doing for 10 years. As a former president of the Midtown Neighbors Association and MPUE chair, I've worked with CIDs for quite some time. I've seen the great potential they have to maximize the impact of city projects by being essential partners. I've been present for changes that Midtown Alliance has made to the procurement process in order to speed projects. I've seen the investment that they make in arts and culture and community engagement at the street level, and I see the way that business associations depend on them to represent their needs. So I will continue to be a strong supporter and partner.
Thank you, Courtney.
One of the things that I have learned so far as a member of the NPUM Safety Committee is that there are so many people in our city who are making so many efforts to bring a new business, a new enterprise, a new nonprofit, and our public-private partnerships have so much potential in this city. And so when you actually have people who are cooperating in this fashion, I think that it's really important, yes, to stimulate the economy, yes, to bring arts and culture, yes, to make these quality of life things more accessible, But really, it's just all of the above. And when people actually step up and actually offer something, we need to be behind those people. Those are the people that are going to make our city great.
Thanks, Ocean. This is the final question, and for this one, everybody gets 60 seconds. What is the primary issue facing your district, and why are you the candidate to address it? And we'll start with Alex.
I think the primary issue facing our district is development. In District 2 alone, we've got several million square feet of new development that's coming down the pipeline right now. And ultimately,